What's up? This is the Art Mentor coming at you to teach you the next step in involving your pinch pot by teaching you on how to level the rim on this beast, all right? So y'all, first thing that you want to make sure that you do is you need to check the overall shape of your pinch pot before you move on to this next step, which again is how to level the rim. Because once you get this thing all hand built here, you're gonna notice as I spin this beast around here, right? That's a really, really jacked up rim. You notice that as I spin this, it's all up and down looking ridiculous and all wonky. We need to fix this. But before you do this, stop. And what you need to do is you need to make sure of a few things. So, number one being that you need a nice consistent shape to this, meaning that it is the same shape all the way around on the walls. You want to make sure that the thickness of the walls are consistent too. Again, you do that just by pinching it and you'll feel, oh yeah, it's a little thick here, oh, it's a little thin here. You'll feel that. But most importantly, too, when you look at this straight down like that, this should be a nice, perfect circle all right here. The opening here should also be a circle. If you have been careless in doing this, what I'm about to show you is completely worthless because you're gonna end up doing it again. You don't wanna do that. All right, now y'all, before we get started, I'm gonna introduce to you one of my best friends in hand building, one of these bad boys here, okay? Now this is formally called, I believe, either a decorating or a banding wheel, but for all intents and purposes, I call this a turnstile. That's a term I always use with my students, all right? But basically, the huge advantage to this is this allows you to put your project in a stationary state and you can spin it around without the hassle of picking it up, moving it, pick it up, move it, pick it up, move it. Because what you're gonna experience the more that you hand build is that whether, again, it's something really, really super basic like this, or if it's something really extravagant over the top, like some of the other things I'll teach you how to do, is that this is going to be very cumbersome for you to pick it up. It's also gonna cause things to start to break off eventually. So first off, we're gonna need one of these turnstiles here again, which allows you to work on your piece from full 360 degrees just by spinning it, all right? Another thing that I'm gonna teach you and you're gonna need to use are one of these bad boys here. This is called the cutting tool. I'm looking at specifically this bladed edge right here. This is a precision cutting tool. You can also use this for things like scribing or drawing on your sculptures. If you don't have one of these at home, really easy thing you can use is just like a butter knife. This works extremely well, okay? So now, let's get into it. Let me show you how, using all this stuff, I'm gonna teach you how to get rid of this nasty looking jacked up rim so you got a nice, beautiful looking pinch pot. Let's do this. All right, y'all, so I'm switching perspectives with you so that you can see what I'm about to show you extremely well. All right, now, to start this off, very simple. I'm gonna take my turnstile here, / banding wheel, whatever you wanna call it. I'm gonna call it turnstile again, okay? I'm gonna bring this all the way over to the edge of my table space that I'm sitting at. Notice, nothing there, okay? I'm gonna take my pinch pot that I've made this far. I'm gonna put it right in the center. Now, talking about this real quick, y'all. Whenever you go to grab one of these, just to show you, this looks like it's connected, it's not. So make sure that whenever you're gonna go ahead and pick up your turnstile, you always hold it from the base or else you're gonna experience that lovely sound right there. That's probably horrible as it comes through the internet here. So bring it all the way over here. And what you'll notice here is that on this particular style, most of them have them too, they'll have multiple rings here. This will allow you to figure out exactly where yours is gonna center up. So mine is gonna be right there on those middle two, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get that on there, stand up, look at it before I go ahead and begin. Again, if it's off at all in any direction, if it's not nice and centered, it's gonna wreck the next process here. All right, y'all. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and take our cutting tool, all right? Let me get a little closer for you. So I'm gonna take my cutting tool, and again, if you don't have one of these, please kindly use something like a butter knife, something with a nice edge to it, okay? So here's what I wanna do, is we need to take a look at this as we spin it around, and we need to determine where's the lowest area on this. So where's the lowest peak? So for me, it is right here. This is my lowest peak. So what I did is I just made a little mark right there, so I'm gonna mentally know that. Now, the next step is critical. pushing away my chair, I'm getting out of it. Because if you're gonna try and do this in your seat, you're gonna do it wrong. You're gonna jack it up, it's gonna look awful. All right, so I'm gonna pull this all the way over to the edge of my table here. All right, I'm gonna get down nice and eye level with it again so that my eyes are level with where I'm about to cut. Now, I'm gonna hold my cutting tool or my knife totally straight. You don't wanna arc it up like this. You don't wanna arc it like this either. It needs to be totally straight, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to draw a line and spin this around very slowly. I'm gonna be holding mine by kind of the neck of my turnstile right here so that I can easily just kind of spin it around. Nice and easy. So now, to get this nice straight line, this is where a lot of people folly because they don't feel that they have a very straight hand, and to be honest, I don't blame you. You're trying to cut into something and hold a straight line, it's pretty tough. So here's my trick. Rest your elbow, not your elbow, rest your forearm against the table edge. As you're drawing with this, okay, you're going to ensure, this is going to ensure this technique right here, pulling it all the way over and then resting your forearm against the table is going to ensure that as you're drawing a line, it's going to stay straight. So watch this, y'all. I'm going to just lightly draw onto this. Now, the idea is that I'm not going to push into it. I'm just going to lightly drag it across. Find that peak. I'm down. I'm eye level with it. I'm just turning this nice and slow. There is no effort in my technique right now, y'all. All right, I'm just going nice and slow. You also start to see that line that is developing right now, okay? So take your time. Don't forget to breathe. It's another rookie thing a lot of people do. They start to concentrate. A lot of times people forget to breathe. That causes you to have a wonky line, okay? Now as I turn this, I'm just lightly dragging it across. It's going to be a multi-step process in getting this totally straight, but just go with me on this. Okay, I'm just going all the way around. Now, all works out well, like it just did for me there. Your line where it started right there is going to be exactly where it comes right back to. So magic happened. That's great. I can't tell you how many times to demonstrate this. That does not happen. But for me, it did. That's great. Now, if this didn't happen for you, life's easy for you. Just use your finger, smudge it out, and redraw it. And life is good. Now, to continue with this, that was step one. Step one was just to draw that line. Because again, if this isn't straight, if it's going up and down, and you've got to be really critical in your assessment of this. If it's really not straight, don't proceed forward. It's not worth it. Okay? So now in my next step here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that same line again. This way I can go a little bit faster and it's going to be a lot easier. I'm going to push into it just a little tiny bit more. All right? Last time I just kind of dragged it across slightly. This time I'm doing a slight push. All right? Now the major, you'll notice again, my forearm is rested against the table. Still my turnstile is pulled all the way to the edge. I'm eye level with this. I never want to go above or below my eye level. If I do, that is a surefire way to wreck this. Now, I just went all the way through, all right? As you can see right there. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do it again. So what I basically want to do is I just want to go around this all the way until this piece of clay nicely and easily, effortlessly releases off the top. You'll notice that mine's starting to do that right now. I've got one more rotation I think I need to do. Again, make sure your blade is totally straight. I can't stress that enough, y'all. If your blade is not straight, it's not going to go well. Now, how do you know when you're done? Simple, y'all. Check this out. Simple release. Clay drop. So, now, some things might happen when you do this, which is that if you look at yours, and this is pretty good. It's pretty solid. But you notice that, like, there's this piece sticking up right there. Everything should look pretty good though. This looks pretty decent, but there's a few things I'm gonna address. This little piece sticking up right there. Also, if you notice you have like any type of a little hump anywhere, here's how we're gonna get rid of that, y'all. So, this right here, this is called a loop tool. It's called loop tool obviously because the metal creates some kind of a loop. Loop tool come in a lot of different shapes, and they are your premier tool for extracting precision pieces of clay. Again, that's for precisely scooping clay out, okay? So we're gonna use this in order to help level this as well. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use my turnstile. I'm gonna get down again. I'm gonna keep myself eye level here. Notice how I've been in a chair for a number of minutes now, right? And I'm just gonna lightly turn this and scoop across it, okay? I'm not doing anything forceful to it, because if I use too much force, it's gonna wreck the shape happening right now, okay? So I'm just lightly scooping this out. And that's what's up, okay? So this allows me to nice and quickly, effortlessly get this down. Now, before you proceed forward, I really want you to pause. I want you to get down eye level with it right now and really assess how well this came out here. I want you to really look at it and ask yourself, is this really a good job that I just did? Because if not, do it again, all right? Just do it again, same thing as before. You find your lowest point and you keep going. If you find yourself doing this more than twice, your process is wrong and you should rewatch this whole video to make sure that you get this right, all right? Now, as the last step, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my sponge and some water. I'm just gonna lightly sponge the top of this and get this done. I'm also gonna go on the inside of my rim as well, just to get all that out. Okay, but again, I'm just kind of lightly doing this. I love the turnstile for its ease of use and its ability to do this. It is just an awesome, awesome, awesome tool. Again, if you're looking to purchase one of these for yourself, this is properly called, I believe, a decorating or banding wheel. Again, I don't call it that. I haven't called it that in about 10 years since I learned ceramics. Okay, so everybody, now that we have that done, we've got a pretty good looking pinch pot. All right, and you'll notice again, look at that rim. Nice. Okay. So y'all, thanks so much for watching this. Now you know how to get this done, and you can do some cool stuff to it. You can decorate it. You can put some stuff. You can turn it into something. Thank you so much for watching this. This has been the Art Mentor. Thank you.